Hello, this is Kirk Kempton with ResponsiBid. I am really excited to show you about some new things that we rolled out to ResponsiBid last night. Um, we've been working really hard for a long time on this update, and we're excited to finally present it to you. Now, there's a couple things that I need to show you. The first thing that you'll notice is that there's a new area in the sidebar called the call screen, and I'm absolutely dying to show it to you. But before I do, there's something that I have to show you first, and that is underneath Settings, there's a new area for contacts. Now, what's really cool about this is that contacts makes it really easy for you to search for who you're looking for using a totally wide range of criteria. But what we're actually going to do is something that you haven't been able to do in ResponsiBid before, and that is actually import contacts. So what I'm going to show you now is we're just going to import a list of some names, and it's right here. It's a CSV file. You're going to be able to upload CSV files, and ResponsiBid is going to be kind of smart. It's going to be able to figure out in your CSV file if you've got a row of labels, then it'll be able to usually figure out which of the labels it's going to import, which of the labels aren't going to be able to come into ResponsiBid, and if you need to match it up, the thing is, before you go, you just want to look and see if there's anything that is still with the exclamation mark and the triangle. That means you need to figure out what you want to do with that, and it's going to say select column from CSV. So in the case of address, that would be address 1. Now, once we've selected all the areas that we want to import, then we're going to be able to look for duplicates based on criteria. So once you've selected the different areas to look at and look for duplicates, then your next option is to check for duplicates if any of these things match or if all of these fields match. So depending on how you want to look for duplicates, select the criteria and then just determine if there is any of this stuff present, then we want to try and look for duplicates, or if all of it's present, then we'll consider looking at duplicates. So keep in mind that it's only looking for duplicates. It's not actually going to do anything with it. So what I've done is I've clicked save, and you're going to wait for a while because not only are you uploading everything, but now it's going to be going through a sort process. So just hang tight. Okay, you can see that what happened here was we imported everybody, but there are a lot of service areas that did not exist in ResponsiBid earlier. So I've got all sorts of people here trying to get in, and I can either try and match these to a service area that's already existed by just picking what we've already got available to us, or I can just click this button and you'll see it switches all of these drop downs to creating a new service area, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take all these brand new people in, and we're going to bring them into a service area. The other thing you can do is you can actually click this button and turn them all to import without matching service areas. What's really cool about that is that you can match them up later. It'll just import them without a city or state or province, city province. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and create them all, though. Okay, so everybody's here. We're going to wait a little bit while here, too, because not only are we sorting all these people and bringing all their information fully into ResponsiBid, but we're also matching up service areas. So get ready to wait for a while. Depending on the size of your file, this could take, a minute. This is 500. I'm going to trim this down so you won't have to wait the whole time with me, but it would probably take about a minute. If you had, say, 2,000 people that you were uploading, you might wait, 4 minutes or 5 minutes. So it's okay. If you're waiting, it means it's working. Okay, so you can see here that the import was complete. We imported 500 people, and it's all in here now. But you'll remember that when we were doing our import, we were bringing people in from like Anchorage, Alaska, and all sorts of different places. So now we can just simply select a city that we want to search off of. We could add, let's say we were looking for somebody named Wilda in Anchorage. So I could type in Wilda, hit search, and it's going to search off of both of those fields. So it's really neat. Not only that, but this person doesn't have a bid on file, it's just a person record. So we can click on View, go into Wilda's account, and we'll be able to put in new input for information that we do have about the person, and we can move them into, we can put a bid on file, and there's also a new button we're going to talk about, and that's called Edit and Call Screen. Before I click on that button, I'm actually going to just take you to the call screen and now discuss with you how that works. Okay, so as you recall, we were looking for a lady named Wilda, so let me put that in here. Wilda, you'll see that automatically it already found her because we only have one Wilda in here. And when I click on autofill, it actually will automatically fill out the form with everything we do know about her, plus it's going to let you know at the top with red text that you are editing that particular customer. Now, of course, I could change anything about this customer right now, and when I save it, it'll automatically change that customer. But I can also add things that we didn't know before. Like in this case, we didn't know what the lead source was, so I can say that this person heard about us through a referral. It's a residential client. The house is, this big, this many stories, and I actually am going to continue because I'm going to add a bid to this customer. But I could go right to the customer profile. I could at this point set up an in-person quote for this person, which is a new feature, and I'm going to pretend that I'm going to continue on with this person right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and I'm going to get a quote for gutter cleaning and carpet cleaning. And I'm going to continue, and just as you would expect in the gutter cleaning, I have both an exact and a rough option. I'm just going to use the rough option based off of house size. Of course, you do have the option to always be able to do the other stuff, but I'm just going to go a little quicker here. And carpet cleaning, we have the square footage or the number of rooms. Number of rooms is faster, so I'm just going to do it that way. And I'm going to do a small room. No, I'll do 3 small rooms, and I will do a large room and a hallway. Why not? Okay. Obviously, we can check anything that applies. I'm going to say right now that I'm going to say it's an empty house, just for fun. And then I'll add a note. Customer called for a quote. I don't know. You know how the note section works. So now when I click get bid, it's going to run the quote just like you're probably used to. The only difference is the call screen, especially anytime when you're in the call screen, no information is necessarily required unless it's required for what you're trying to do. For example, a visit for bid requires having an address in order for you to go and visit them for a bid. And if you're doing a quote for, say, gutter cleaning, you need to know maybe what city they live in for your city minimums and so on. So there are some things. A couple things you'll notice in the new proposal is that we now have the address showing in the proposal. We kind of reformatted this area. Here's the quotes as you would expect. Here's all the stuff that you're used to seeing. But here's something you're probably not used to seeing, is that we can go directly to the customer's profile from here when we do it within the call screen or the application. Or I can just quickly grab the link for the customer. So if I grab that link, I can copy the URL of this page in the top bar, and I can actually get that URL to the customer that they can actually visit. But I'm going to go to the customer's profile right now. And of course, we've been dealing with Wilda, but here's the last calculated quote. You can see that we have bids on file now. You can see that all this information is saved here, new notes, and of course we can always edit the bid as usual inside of the customer's profile. So everything here you're already going to be familiar with because there's nothing new about this. But here's something that is new, is that now we can either edit this call on a call screen, or if a phone rings and we want to go to the call screen, we can actually go here and edit information and just move in lots of different directions. So this is the part that's really exciting, is we can actually start typing in a customer's name. So I could start typing Kurt, and it starts looking, but maybe when I get to the last name is Test, and now we can see obviously that we don't know who this person is, that we don't have them in. But you would be able to say, oh, is this the Kurt Test? Are you related to Test who lives at 1515 Anytown? And oh no, that's not me. Oh, okay, cool, sounds good. Of course, it's a Test account. So let's say that they live in Abilene, Texas, and we need a street address. Let's say this person says, oh no, I'm not really interested in giving you my street address, I just want a quote. You could actually run through here and give a quote as long as you have this information, and then come back and add it later because you're in the call screen. Or if they even don't want to give you their name, you'll notice that you can even get an anonymous bid. So you can get a bid as long as you know the city and state that they live in, or city and province. If you don't put an address in there, there won't be any follow-up. But let's go through that Kurt test scenario. Say they're willing to give you their information, even willing to give you their email address. And how they heard about you. But we don't know required information like a phone number, or let's pretend that was required as well. Let's say we don't know that, and the person is not willing to give that, but at least they want to move through with the quote. Well, at this point, we ask about some of the general information that they can tell us, house size and stuff like that. And maybe we say, okay, what would you like a quote on? And they say, I'd like a quote on blind cleaning and tile cleaning. Okay, that sounds great. Tell me, for blind cleaning, how many medium blinds do you have? How many small blinds? And let's say that the customer says, I'm not going to go around and count. You need to look at these. These are really crazy. Well, in the old ResponsiBid, you would just have to abandon the bid, and you couldn't really do anything about it. Well, now you can click on the Visit for Bid button, and it looks like, oh, for Visit for Bid, I actually do need the street address. So you can see that there is some stuff going on. Well, that's a weird name of a street, but okay. Visit for bid. And now I can put in a date of the bid. So let's say the 30th. And we'll arrive between 8 and, let's say, 9. Okay. I click Visit for Bid. It's saving the customer. All the information is all pre-populated that we were able to collect over the phone. And now it is already queuing this customer up for a brand new status called Visit for Bid. So it pulls up the new screen, and you can see that the bid status is Visit for Bid, and follow-up is actually running. Just like the scheduled jobs, you can now have a brand new sequence that will send a message letting them know you're coming out to give them a quote on a certain date, and then I think, what do we set up for a day before the quote? It's going to send another email saying, just going to come out and give you a quote tomorrow. When the technician gets out there, they'll just go to the dashboard. They'll look at the Visit for Bid tab. And you'll see that this person is scheduled for the bid, and it's going to show up in order so that they can pull it up. They can either click the new phone button or the name. If they click the phone button, they'll be taken right to the call screen, and all the information that they need to know is already pre-populated, and it's ready to start giving this Kurt test a quote. So let's say that they want to add on services while you're actually at the quote. Maybe you want to get a roof cleaning quote or carpet cleaning quote or something like that. You can actually add that right there, so the person in the field has total control, and when they're done, they can click on Get a Bid. So let's say that the person visiting for bid counts up all the blinds, and then for tile cleaning decides to do, we'll do once again number of rooms. Say a small room times 5. Continue, and they can leave any notes that they need to and get the bid. Okay, so the proposal's created. The employee can go out and actually give that proposal, or if they want to, they can actually go into the customer profile and make some adjustments as necessary. When you get to the customer profile, you'll be able to see that maybe the tile cleaning needed an actual adjustment for maybe overly soiled tile or grout or whatever. So they can do anything they need to do before the actual bid happens, but you'll see that now that they're in the open status, as you would expect, it's an open bid, it'll continue following up however you've set up your follow-up sequences. So that's one way that the call screen can be used, and all the way up and through the new follow-up and all the way through the way the technician would use it out in the field. But here's the other way it can be done. I was alluding to it earlier, is maybe you've got the call before where someone calls up, they don't want to give you their information. You just need to be able to collect the city that they live in, how they heard about you, and then start with the actual bid, the information you need for the bid. So we'll do that, and then we'll continue, and we'll say they want just mirror cleaning. Click continue. Oh, and another cool thing is that you can actually add custom items right from this screen. So maybe the person calling says, I just want a bid for whatever it may be. You used to have another kind of a quote in order to get going on the custom items, but in the call screen, you can automatically go directly into the new custom items, choose whatever either previous custom items you've had or add a new item or whatever, and now you can give an anonymous bid. Of course, you probably with anonymous bid want to add notes about the customer so it'd be easier if they ever called back that you could pull it up. So definitely recommend using the notes section for anonymous bids so that they're not quite so anonymous. So here's the new proposal. You can see that it's for somebody in Akron, Ohio. It's an anonymous quote. There they are. When you go to your dashboard, you'll see that they are going to show up in your most recent bids because they were a bid, but they're also a new tab called Anonymous. And here is the person who had an anonymous quote, and you can pull them up, and you can actually either edit things in here, or if they call back and decide to book or whatever you need to do, you can edit them right directly into the call screen. And there it is. Pulls up. You just put in the information, change the first name from anonymous to whatever the real name is, and move forward. So the call screen is going to give you power to move in whatever direction you need to whenever the phone rings. Whether it's someone who just wants a quote without giving you the information, if you want to do that, that's fine. Required fields are no longer going to be required unless it's required to actually give the bid or to go and visit them for a bid. So you can give anonymous quotes. You can take people's information and pre-populate a bid for somebody who's going to finish the quote out in the field, or you can find previous contacts that you've had in the system that now you want to be able to attach a bid to them using the nice seamless automation of ResponsiBid and all the auto quoting features. So we're really excited about this. It gives you complete power over your customers. The call screen is available to deluxe and premium users of ResponsiBid, and I look forward to being able to hear all of your feedback on this. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always go to responsibid.com/answers and ask any questions that you might have there. But in the meantime, enjoy, and I look forward to hearing from you.